Hi, my name is Danny Brown. I'm the CEO of Myriad Real Estate Group, and this is going to be our February market update. In the previous video, we talked about how inventory was actually starting to climb in the greater Phoenix area. Well, this month it's actually starting to come down a little bit. So we saw interest rates rise recently, and we're not seeing as many homes get listed right now. I do think that that's going to change, that we are just getting into the spring selling season. So I think we saw an increase in listing activity with people waiting to get through the holidays. Now that we're through the holidays, I think we're seeing a little bit of a pullback, but then we will start to get into our normal trend of having more active listings on the market. So as I mentioned, interest rates came up a little bit. No drastic changes. They're still in the mid to high 6% range, not nearly as low as we all would like to see them. But I do think that that trend of lower rates is still coming. A lot of experts are predicting that we will see an interest rate with a 5 handle in front of it by the end of the year. I don't know if that will happen, but I do think that rates will remain stable for most of this year, hovering in that mid to low 6% range. I think that's what buyers can expect. If we get into the 5s, that would be amazing. We've seen this story play out before. This time last year, rates dropped to 5.99, and we saw a big increase in purchase application and buyer demand as soon as we got to something with the 5 in front of it. So this year is very similar to last year. The biggest difference is that the Fed is done hiking rates and has actually signaled that they're going to do several rate cuts this year. The market is pricing in 6. I think they're being a little bit overzealous and wishful thinking on 6 rate drops. The Fed is stating that they are going to do 3. I'm in the camp that thinks the Fed is extremely restrictive right now, and they should do more than 3. In fact, I think that they should drop rates this month, but I don't think that they will. Maybe they will drop rates 25 basis points in March, but the likelihood of that, not very high. The Fed tends to be old and slow, my favorite economist Logan Montashami likes to say, and they are definitely old and slow. The job market is doing well, inflation is coming down, GDP for Q4 of last year came in at 3%, so the Fed's not really motivated to change anything right now, so I think that they're going to hold firm, so that's going to keep mortgage rates kind of in that mid 6% range. So how's this going to affect buyers? Well, human beings are super adaptable, and all we want is things to be calm and steady and know what to expect. So if rates stay relatively normal in that mid 6% range, we are going to see buyer activity take place because buyers know what they can afford. When they apply for a mortgage, they're going to be approved at whatever purchase price and whatever monthly payment that is. By the time they close, it won't have changed. So there's not going to be as much volatility in the market. So I think we're going to see just more normal activity take place in the market. And it's all going to be rate driven. So if I'm wrong and rates go up, we'll see less buyer activity. If rates go down, then we're going to see a lot more buyer activity. So it's really all going to be rate dependent on the level of activity that we see in the market. So we are getting into the spring selling season. So if you are thinking of selling your home, this is the time to do it. There are a ton of people in Phoenix. We've got the Barrett Jackson that's taking place right now. We've got the Waste Management open, and then we've got spring training just around the corner in March, all bringing people to the greater Phoenix area. So this is when we see a lot of activity in the market. A lot of people decide to sell. A lot of people decide to buy because they're here, usually from cold weather states. They're like, Phoenix is awesome. I'm going to buy a house and either have it be a winter home or just move here. So that's why we see a lot of activity during that spring season. We're just in the beginning stages of that. So if you're thinking of selling, now is a really good time to do spring cleaning, to thin your house out, to start getting your landscaping in order to make that curb appeal look nice, right? Like our winter, it was a couple weeks ago, it's over. I think we're into the spring season now, so the flowers should be blooming, grass should be growing, so it's a really good time to get your landscaping in order to increase that curb appeal. So sellers are still gonna need to price their home accurately. I don't see, unless rates fall, of course, but I don't see any major run-up in home values, but homes that look good, that are priced right, can still garner multiple offers. So again, the market's going to see more activity over this spring season. We are just into the beginning stages of February, so there's a lot of runway in front of us in terms to find a home, to get your home ready to sell, and we're just going to see more activity in 2024 than we did in 2023. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.